I put up 3 videos in a row about the weather modification, weather control, you can call it weather manipulation. Geo-engineering, I think, is also a term. I don't know if people split hairs over what they're calling it. Just generally, it's a widespread use of technology sending out electromagnetic frequencies, energy fields, in order to affect the weather. Now, I know that I pretty well accept that historically they used cloud seeding during the Vietnam War, so that was the 1960s. They were able to affect the outcome of the battles and their strategy based on the fact that there would be more rain, more wind, and obviously more mud on the ground to affect the movement of man and machines. So if they've come up with better technology now through HAARP, what they always call it, or NEXrad, which is something else, it's a slightly different technology. I couldn't explain the difference to you. That's not the purpose of this video. Just the overall view that I take is that it could very well be going on. The logical thing that you would ask is, why is there all these towers with the large white globe on top of it, a sphere, and these are supposed to be for Doppler radar, but it's just like a lot of the technology, TV sets or your smartphone, they can be used both ways. They can transmit as well as receive. So if something's reading Doppler radar, it could also be putting out things, waves into the atmosphere that a radar would read. So it's not just a reader, it is causing what's going to be on the radar. So this is an interesting twist with technology. I discussed even in the 1990s that microwave, television, I got distracted by the people climbing around behind me. Television sets can actually be used to look in on the viewer. In other words, it's not just a screen. And when it's hooked up to cable and broadband, that signal goes both ways. Obviously, we know that now. It's not just downloading the TV program. You can actually download to the source. So this is, well, and then you're saying, how can the TV screen be used as a camera lens? But it actually can. How do you think camera lenses work in digital cameras? It's electronic. So they can either use it to just detect movement. They can, obviously, it's very easy to detect sound. So it can be just for audio feed. And you've never opened up one of your devices, have you? Either it's bugged after you get it in your house, and the agents come in and plant it in there, or everybody's buying it with the device in there. Now, some people claim they know what component it is, you know, where the microphone is, what the sensor is on it. Where am I going with all this? What I'm saying is that you can use technology in many different ways, and they're not telling you about it on the consumer end. But we're smarter now, and this is a dangerous game now that the public is in the know, because they're not going to tolerate it. Now, I'm not saying which side that I take on anything. I believe in a very strong central government. I believe, well, this is a whole other video, but right now we don't have such a thing. We don't have benevolence. We don't have trust. We don't have the right people in position. But I think very soon in the near future we're going to implement that. And the right souls should prepare to take their positions. That's what your destiny is. Weather modification is not proven. And the main reason why I can't just jump in the boat for that theory, we've always had storms on the planet Earth. And I actually tend to believe more in the wind turbulence, not in the electromagnetic spectrum effect so much. It's just the fact that when man started to create air machines, flying ships, jets, you can't go anywhere in the developed world now without looking up into the sky, and after a while you will see one of them. I think this creates a lot of turbulence in the atmosphere, and they say it gets diluted, but it has to collect up eventually, because these ripple patterns, look at the waves in the ocean. Waves don't just disappear, they travel, and that's why waves crash on the shore and sometimes become tsunamis. Sometimes they're tidal waves, sometimes they're rogue waves. But people don't seem to see that as waves in the air that cause the weather, that cause the hurricanes. It's very connected, everything. There used to be a proverb that a butterfly will flap its wings, and what is it, in America? And then there would be a tornado in China. I'm probably getting this proverb all wrong, but if you know what I'm talking about, you know. It's about synchronicity. Everything is connected. There's a conservation of matter. It has to do with motion, conservation of energy, and it has to do with when things move, they go out in widening circles. If it's a vibration like sound or light, everything moves through these fields, and they're waves. You can see it as that. So this is basically what weather is. Weather is composed of all these air molecules. They're gas or vapor, and sometimes they get water vapor in it. So that's what's going on, and these patterns form. I think it's always been going on. It's probably getting worse because of the pollution and the heat, and like I said, the movement. Movement is also a pollution, as well as noise. People tend to forget noise, but when you tell them noise is a pollution, yeah, we accept it. What about motion? That's a pollution. What do I recommend to conclude this crazy conspiracy, mystical science vlog? I recommend sitting as long as you can. Take some time out in your day. Slow down. Be silent. Don't think, don't move. Just do nothing. It actually feels really good, and I think that the majority of the people out there need this because it's a part of their healing. You need to get better. Talk more about that in another video.